Hello again, anybody listening and watching and vinyl community and everyone else. Welcome to part 2 of my Laserdisc video. I just did part 1 and I said I would do part 2, and we're going to pick it up at end and go through the end, and then at the end I am going to show a few new pickups that I have made because of the Sgt. Pepper 13. I hate you, Matt. No, I don't. They're cool things. I mean, they really are. I mean, it's hard to explain why I like them so much. But anyway, I thought I would explain a little bit more in detail before I do this about why I want to upgrade. Because I keep saying the picture quality is great and it's fine. But here's the rub. On widescreen movies, they're only set up for 3x4 televisions, so you're gonna get the bars, and you're not gonna get the full picture, so it's gonna be small. So you can blow it up, and I like to blow it up, but that does tend to make things a little bit fuzzy. But there's nothing you can do about that because widescreen televisions weren't invented yet. But if I make the quality of the picture a little bit better, it will be better on the widescreen movies when I blow it up, and that's why I want to do that. Okay, here we go. We're going to start off with the ends here, and fantastic film, Alfred Hitchcock, North by Northwest. Again, talk about ones that you might want to frame. This is a great cover here, and it's a gatefold, and listen to that crispiness. I'm not sure it's ever been opened. There's the gatefold of that. We go to The Old Dark House, a very, very early 30s movie, and this is the only movie I know that is basically unwatchable on my Laserdisc player because there's a commentary, and the way it's set up, mine is set up, I get the commentary and the movie at the same time, and I can't turn one or the other off. And this is the only disc I have that's formatted like that. So I have seen it, but I haven't really seen it to appreciate it. Once a Thief, John Woo, a movie that I really like. A lot of people consider this one of his lesser films, but I really like this movie a lot. Chow Yun-fat is in it once again, and just a really cool caper sort of movie. And the television, actually, yeah, the first television adaptation of John Woo's Once a Thief, not very good. There are more of those than that. Fantastic film, The Philadelphia Story, and the first time I ever saw this film was on Laserdisc. Cary Grant, Katharine Hepburn, and James Stewart. Again, talk about a frameable cover. Just really cool. What have we here? Some of these I'm not even going to know. Private Eye Blues. I probably have seen this, but it's been so long, I really don't remember it. Asian film, Hong Kong. Love my Hong Kong films. Prodigal Son, Sammo Hung and Yen Bao. Another Hong Kong film. The Professional. Fantastic movie. But watch Leon the Professional. It's about a half an hour longer than this version of the movie. But still really cool to have, and really glad I have it on Laserdisc. Fantastic movie with the great Jean Reno, and Gary Oldman is just scary in this movie. But again, watch the Leon the Professional. It's the international version, and it's just better. And look at his glasses. They do this on purpose. They sort of glare, and pretty cool cover there. Again, frameable cover. And talk about frameable covers. Pulp Fiction. Of course, Quentin Tarantino's. A lot of people think it's his masterpiece, his best film. John Travolta, Samuel L. Jackson. What could be more memorable in a movie than that scene? Fantastic to have on Laserdisc. Raped by an Angel. Some fairly gruesome Hong Kong filmage there. Alfred Hitchcock's Rear Window. Just a classic. Just fantastic. Probably my favorite Hitchcock film. Of course, Jimmy Stewart and the lovely, and I'm Grace Kelly, of course, and Raymond Burr in it as well. Rock and Roll Cop. Pretty good Hong Kong action film. I really like this one. Rouge with Anita Mui in this movie. I remember it was dark. That's all I can remember about this movie. I really like Anita Mui a lot. Another one of my absolute favorite Hitchcock films. A lot of people don't love this one. I do. Rope. And it's one of the most ingenious places that Hitchcock put himself. You know, you see him in most of his films. He's in this film, and it's a very bizarre place that he's in it. But love this one. Jimmy Stewart, Farley Granger. Jackie Chan, Rumble in the Bronx. His best American movie, maybe. I don't know. It's actually not an American movie. It's a Hong Kong movie. His most successful American film, maybe. And it's the movie that made him a star in America anyway. But there is a Hong Kong version of this film that is a half an hour longer and so much better. I have seen it, but I don't own it. And it's like on my list of movies that I really, really need to own. Rushmore, one of my all-time favorite films. It just is. Jason Schwartzman and Bill Murray have never been better, really, in my opinion. Just love this film to death. Hitchcock's The Saboteur. Again, talk about covers that you can frame. Well, Rushmore too, really. But just really cool. Priscilla Lane. Just an underrated actress in my opinion, and drop dead gorgeous, and Robert Cummings is good in this. I like this one more than a lot of people do. John Wayne's The Searchers, probably my all-time favorite Western, just dark, and John Wayne is just so good in this movie. I actually got to see this the best theater in DC, the Uptown, is a 5 movie showing in widescreen after they rejuvenated the place. So I've actually seen this in a theater in a curved screen in 70mm. Fantastic. Sling Blade. What can I say about it? That Billy Bob Thornton. It's got a faithful, but there's not much in there. Song of Exile, Maggie Cheung. I don't remember this either, but I've seen it. And I'm a huge Maggie Cheung fan, but can't really tell you much about it. Spellbound, another one of my favorite Hitchcock films. Just love this movie to death. Of course, I can never remember people's names when I'm Ingrid Bergman and Gregory Peck. When I'm in front of the camera, I forget things. Do you guys do that? I do. I do it on a mic too on my podcast. Strangers on a Train. I always found this movie very bizarre. It's very good, but it's very, very bizarre. It's one of Hitchcock's weirder efforts in my opinion, but I still like it a lot. Can you tell I'm a Hitchcock fan? Chinese movie, I can't find any English on it anywhere. And I forget. I'm sure I used to know. I'm sure I knew when I bought it what it was called. But I've not seen this. Judy Garland, Gene Kelly, Summer Stock. Jackie Chan's Super Cop. Now, one of his actually better movies. Very little comedy in this movie. Just, there's some, but just a pretty good Jackie Chan movie. The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. They just remade this one a few years ago. maybe 10 years ago now. Anyway, don't bother. Watch the original. Fantastic movie. I love this movie. Walter Matthau, Robert Shaw. Cool movie. This is a movie where Quentin Tarantino gets his Mr. Pink and Mr. Green and Mr. Brown from in Pulp Fiction. He stole it from this movie right here. Terminator 2, Judgment Day. I laughed in the theaters when I saw this. I'm sorry for those of you that like this movie. I think it's terrible. But I do own it on Laserdisc. There's the inside. The Criterion edition of this is Spinal Tap. Really awesome to have, but there's another version which has 2 or 3 discs. That's the one you really want. All this bonus material that isn't available anywhere except on the Criterion DVD or Laserdisc, but they're both really hard to come by, but still really nice to have the Criterion on that. One of my favorite rock and roll films. This is Spinal Tap. The Third Man, one of my favorite films of all time. Orson Welles had to have more to do with this than just be acting it. You can just tell. Carol Reed directed it. Criterion edition. Enough said. Great film. The Three Swordsmen, Hong Kong film. Don't really remember it. Another fantastic film. Touch of Evil. This is an Orson Welles film. Of course, Charlton Heston in there. Just fantastic movie. And the score. Fantastic. Touch of Evil. Has nothing to do with the other Touch of Evil Hong Kong film. Tour film, R.E.M. Really cool film, but the sound on this Laserdisc I never found to be all that great. But interesting late 80s performance. Toy Story looks really great on Laserdisc actually. They did a nice job on this. The Trouble with Harry, another one of my favorite Hitchcock films. Dark comedy here. But very funny. And Shirley MacLaine never looked better in my opinion than in this movie. It's her best role, I think. I love this movie. The Untouchables, what can I say? Great crime drama. Elliot Ness and Company. Very nice. The Usual Suspects, again, just like The Untouchables, a movie that everybody needs to know this movie. Just fantastic. And Kevin Spacey's probably best performance ever, in my opinion. What about Bob? What about Bob? I normally don't like movies like this. I normally like movies that are either a little bit intelligent but this movie actually is hollowingly funny. Richard Dreyfuss and Bill Murray. Very funny. What Price Survival? I'm not even sure if I've seen this one or not. Another Hong Kong film. Getting towards the end. The Wizard of Oz. This is a really nice edition of Wizard of Oz. It's got a bunch of bonus tracks. They did a really nice job on this. Great addition to get. Wonder 7, a Michelle Yeoh film, another Hong Kong film, not a very good one. Young Frankenstein on Laserdisc, again, frameable. Very cool, very awesome movie. Love this movie. Mel Brooks was one of his best, if not his best movie. Jackie Chan, Young Master. Don't love early Jackie Chan, but this one's a really good one. This is a really good Hong Kong film. And my last one that I had for a long time, Zoo Warrior from the Magic Mountain, a Chinese fantasy basically. Very weird, very cool. People that are into fantasy really like this movie a lot. War of the Rings type stuff here. Tsui Hark did this movie. Really, really good. Okay, that does it for the Laserdisc that I've had for years. And I'll show you some recent acquisitions that I've picked up recently. Started with Put It There, Paul McCartney. As far as I know, this has never come out on DVD, just VHS and Laserdisc only. And it's basically his rehearsals and stuff for his first tour in years and years, from 1989, the Flowers in the Dirt tour. And Tripping the Live Fantastic comes from this tour. And it's really good. There's a lot of whole performances on here, some decent interviews. It's really good. Happy to have that. And couldn't pass this up. The tour film from that movie, Paul McCartney's Get Back, which was released in theaters. This is a Japanese edition with an obi, and I think it might have a slightly different cover than the American, but not very much different. Again, frameable, very cool thing to have. Abbott and Costello, the Naughty 90s. The rest of these are all sealed, by the way. I think. This has a lot of their best routines in it, including Who's on First. Good Abbott and Costello movie. Another copy of Strangers on a Train. Guess I didn't know I had it. Well, anybody out there needs a copy of Strangers on a Train, let me know. This one's sealed. I think that one was thrown in anyway, but Strictly Ballroom. Love this movie. This movie cracks me up. If you've never seen Strictly Ballroom, it's not what you think. Check it out. It's really, really good. Dollars. Goldie Hawn and I can never remember anybody's name. Warren Beatty. I have actually seen this. I actually own this on DVD. It's a really funny sort of cocktail caper kind of film from the early 70s. Really good. I liked it a lot. Jim Jarmusch movie, Mystery Train. If you've never seen this and you're a rock and roll person, shame on you. A couple of Asian people come to Memphis to see Graceland, and great movie. Love this movie. Couple more. Frank Sinatra, Tony Rome. Haven't seen it, but it's always been on my list to see. Nancy Sinatra sings the theme song. Not sealed. Last two aren't sealed. Beatles Criterion version of A Hard Day's Night. Just had to pick it up. Just have it on Laserdisc. And last but not least, girl groups. I have this on VHS. I don't believe it's ever been out on DVD. This is a really good documentary on the girl group sound. And I own the soundtrack. I play it on my podcast a lot. And there's some really good performances in here. And I'm really glad I got this. Watch it in some fairly decent quality now. And that does it for my Laserdisc up to this point. If you're still with me, thank you. Again, hello to all my new subscribers and all my old subscribers, and like and comment and do all of that cool stuff. And my next video, whenever that is, will be vinyl, I promise you. But I don't have a whole lot. Thrift stores have been dry, and I only really have right now about 5 new albums to show. So I'm going to wait. Maybe some more will show up. I don't know. But, so I don't know when my next video will be, or maybe I still need to show my Kinks collection. That'll come eventually. I'm on vacation this week, by the way, but it's been a busy vacation, unfortunately. So, anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the Laserdisc. Check out my podcast, snapcracklepop.podomatic.com. and I'll catch you in the next video. Again, thanks for watching. Bye.